It's time for a little Funky Friday. From their funky hidden headquarters, your hosts, Keith and Gary. Not Jerry.
I don't do anything right now. Welcome to another TGIF. We have no Gary and all ready to both advertise 50 seconds of the show. And with that, you're welcome to the panel. So Gary's at a Renaissance Fair, and you
Hey, yo, Fat, man, we can't hear you. I don't think your internet's working that great in Canadian land. Like, nobody can hear you.
nobody can hear me, really?
Try again. Yep.
There you go.
You can't hear me at all? Really?
Now you're good.
You're back. There you go.
Now we good.
There you
High
go.
five.
Start over.
I was talking the whole time. All right, we're going to refresh since Dork had to ruin my great intro. It is TGIF Friday without Keith or Gary, because now I have to shout for Gary and Keith because of Dork Night. And we're false
What the fuck did I gotta do with
advertising
this?
about a minute in because neither of them are here. Gary's at a Renaissance Fair, and supposedly Keith is still doing black guy stuff. Other than that, I got a wonderful panel trying to host and not look like an embarrassed fool. So get ready for he's still on camera, and I'm about to bring people up. So first up, we got all of these crazy people that I can call friends as soon as I figure out the right button to use, and bam. And we got Clobbering Times. Hello, thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for having me.
We have Deleted Scenes. How are you doing?
Good afternoon.
That was fantastic.
Oh,
And then we have
I boomed it already. Shit. All right.
yeah. Oh, I already boomed it too. I had to get yelled at. Arwood Avalon is here because we needed a woman at least somewhere on our panel.
Hey, y'all.
Mark D with a C, who is gracing us with his presence as well. I think he's the
Thank
first
you.
time
Thank
on
you.
here.
Happy Friday. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Glad it's Friday. Yep. It's been a long week. Yep.
And of course, we have Viking Out of Time, as you can read by our text.
All right, everyone. The subtitles will not be updated. They will be updated when Gary comes here because he's the guy that takes charge of that. So try to enjoy.
He said, "Thank you, Stephen, for having me on."
Yeah. Thank you, Stu, for having me on, mate.
And last but not least, before I introduce the man, the myth, the legend, I have a personal message that came from the chat, and it says, Daniel, you need to call your mama after the podcast, okay?
Hello, not my mom. How are you?
You dick.
Thank you.
You
And
know-
this is Dork Night.
And thank you for putting me at the bottom because I am the power bottom. So it's all good. It's apropos.
Oh my
How's everybody doing today?
Call your
It-
mom.
Is my audio better now, guys?
Your
Yeah,
audio's
that sounds
great.
good.
Your audio's
Sounds
good now.
good.
Yes.
Good. Thank you, Zax.
Mom, I was going
Come
to
on,
text
Wiz.
you, and then I saw your passive-aggressive chat. So I was like, oh, well, she's in the chat.
we're here, and of course in the
Call
back,
your mom.
and of course in the back, we also have a great dude, Zax, who is wishing he was somewhere else probably right now.
Super chat.
First off, we have a $2 super chat, Dr. Tickle Trunk. So I'm going to do that on purpose.
Doctor?
Tickle Trunk. And he says, "Hi, nerds." And I'm like, "Hi."
Nerd.
This town needs an enema.
Nice.
That's just for you, Doctor.
Like that
That's
one.
right. Oh my God. Dude. Oh, sorry. Zax, I'm not used to that. I'm so sorry. Hey, let's go greet the chat quickly before we get in here. We have Pop Culture Minefield saying this will be a great show. Socks Bulletin says Neal Adams has also passed away. Yep, that came out not too long ago. Dork Knight said he was fortunate enough to have his mom tell him to call him in the chat. Lord Thop is here. Avon Live.
Hey.
We have PJO, who we also know as Dork Knight's mom. I'm not going to embarrass him just yet again because there's still time.
I know the one
Delete-
else is not mom.
You should have read what I actually said. I was fortunate enough, but that's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I
That's
will,
okay.
but I just don't want
Another
to.
Quaalude. You'll love me in the morning.
Now he's talking in tongues. Deleted Scenes is in the chat as well, as we highlight here by underneath it, Neal, Lord Thoth. I'm sorry, I was going to say Socks Bulletins because I'm reading 3 sentences at once. We have the Salty Texas Sea, also another great channel.
Hey, Salty Texas.
We have Stream Elements, who is always there, lurking like a bad girlfriend. We have Pops. Greetings and salutations. Hello. We have.
Is that person
What?
real? Stream Elements? Is Stream Elements real?
I'm not
Is that like
answering that question without cracking up laughing. Cracked open a beard. I'm ready to enjoy the show.
Okay.
No, it's a moderator bot. War Monkey.
Hey,
hello.
War Monkey.
Oh, it is. Okay. Okay.
And there's Zax. Zax, please help me. And hello, Mark D with the C, since you're on the panel. And that's about it. So we got. I'm only a doctor in the bedroom, ladies. See, he likes me calling him Doctor Trickle Trunk, whatever it was.
Trickle.
Well, Trickle Trunks plays doctor in the bedroom.
God.
And first up, I'll ask you guys: do you want to touch the Neal Adams, or do you want to go right into the Doc Savage? Because we're currently waiting for Keith, and we can go to the Neal Adams right away. Since I have full.
I would love to talk about Neal Adams. Yeah.
All right. So let's find out what's going on, and this will be coming from the Hollywood Reporter. Whoa, that popped up real fast automatically. I don't like Gary's settings already. I usually wait, Ted. It just wonk. I'm like, okay. And this comes out April 29th, which is today, 10:28 a.m. Well, this was read that far long ago. We just got it now.
Wow, I just found out about it maybe like 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, same about an hour and a half ago.
Hey, 1212, make a wish. Anyway.
No, thank you. Neal Adams, comic book artist who revitalized Batman and fought for creators' rights, has passed away at 80. And I would probably take the floor first, but I don't know. I don't know. No, go ahead, dude. You have your own personal feelings about Neal.
Well,
Neal
this
Adams.
is about as big as it gets in comics as far as the passing. In comics, he ranks right up there. Excuse me, in stature. You know, with the Kirbys and the Ditkos and the people like that. And so,
hell yeah,
he's in my Hall of Fame. He's already made my Clobber Times Hall of Fame, but he is now.
Does he make your Mount Rushmore though? You only get
He
4.
comes close, but not quite. If you're gonna have to have 4, no, sir. But
Okay, all right.
But I love it, and because I think the body of all of his greatest work was done before 1980. I've done a lot of I've given it a lot of thought. Nevertheless, and he never could really write by himself that well, but he's done some of the most iconic, brilliant comic book art ever conceived of, ever seen, and what he helped do for Batman alone, and he did a lot more than that. But what he did for Batman alone really just got Batman just knocked him out of the park in terms of shaking off. Even though I love the Adam West show, shaking off the stigma of the camp that year of bringing him back to his Dark Knight detective self with Denny O'Neil, his hard traveling heroes with Denny O'Neil in terms of Green Lantern, Green Arrow, all of his commercial art he did with the DC characters, the multitude of covers, his Superman work. Before 1980, he had established himself as one of the giants in the field.
Oh no, total. Like, come on, guys. Batman 251, probably one of the best covers of all time.
That's the one that started it. That he brought the Joker back to the scary Joker. The Joker's Final Revenge.
Yeah, I used to. Sadly, we've already discussed it on this show. We don't need to do it again or show the video. But I had a
hold on. Wait, there's a message for you.
What?
Supposedly, Daniel, you need to call your mama after the podcast.
Bro, you already showed me this. What the hell? Well, I was actually about to give her credit because, like most, I started collecting comics at 13, and I didn't have money. My mom paid for them all, and she always gave me grief. And 3 years ago, Christmas. Well, no, so Christmas 2018. My 3 days after Christmas, my entire life's comic book collection was stolen, made national news and everything. And I had Batman 251 signed by Neal Adams. But not only that, I met him at it was called the Las Vegas Comic Con, which is not around anymore. In fact, it was only around for 2 years. And Neal Adams came out. He was super gracious. He did like NPR interviews. He helped promote the show, but the people in charge didn't know what the hell they were doing, so they didn't promote it. So it was like a ghost town. So it kind of sucked for him, but it was kind of awesome for me. Is I don't know if she's in the chat. So my ex, who I'm still good friends with, the girl I was dating at the time, was just she's like, this fucking nerd, because like to her credit, she just stood there and watched, and I talked to Neal Adams for almost 2 hours. Like, we just sat and talked like people. It was awesome. It was like, it's the coolest dude ever. I let him like he vented for about a good 20 minutes about these motherfuckers don't know what they're doing. This is bullying, like, blah, 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 blah. And then after that, we just
brutal
started.
critics of your work now if you show them your art, and you don't want to be disappointed. People
Yeah.
say don't show him your art if you don't want him to tell you what he thinks, because he will.
Yeah, no, no, and I never did. I mean,
you know,
and I'm an artist, but I never did. Yeah,
what Neal did for Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in the '70s when he helped shame Warner and DC when they had a looming film that was about to be released, the Christopher Reeve film was getting close, and he took them out into the spotlight. They were barely making a living, sometimes Joe Shuster would be making deliveries to DC Comics of all places, and he took them out. They didn't get gigantic sums of money, but he did shame them into giving them a good bit of money to help these old men out who created their most profitable character. And that was Neal Adams.
Exactly. Well, that and if you ask anybody, well, that's not true. Anybody, at least any Gen Xer or older, probably, to like name their most iconic Batman cover.
Oh God,
like,
yeah.
9 out of 10 times it's going to be a Neal Adams cover. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely. As my favorites go, I have him at my number 5th all-time favorite artist. And the thing is, he almost did more cover work and even ad work than he did interiors, but he still did a lot of interiors, of course, but still, comparatively speaking. But to me, all of his greatest stuff was kind of before the really before when he was at DC. Let's put it like that, because he never really was at Marvel that much, other than the early '60s. So
he really came to prominence through his work with Batman and the Flash. Everything he did at DC, man.
Superman. He didn't do Flash, but he did Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and that was the other one. Was with Denny O'Neil, he did Hard Traveling Heroes. It just put him. I mean, it's one of the classics. Yeah.
No, it's
I would like to
great work. Yeah.
I would like to point out that
Did he mute me? Wow. No, he did the Flash. I know for a fact he did Flash.
He never did the interiors on the series.
No, he did the cover though.
Well, he's done covers on everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, now that you mentioned it, I'm thinking of one of my favorite Flash covers he did do. Oh yeah, covers. But when you say he did the series, I default to interiors.
Oh, no worries. My bad. Yeah.
No, it's cool.
Now, for those that probably don't know,
Oh, Steven, your audio went bad.
We can't hear you.
Oh my God!
Now it's good. Now it's
Now it's
weird.
good. What'd you do?
I don't know what is going on. That's
Must be
what I'm
the
trying to
interwebs.
say.
No, yeah,
It
weird.
has to be StreamYard. Am I sounding better?
Yeah, must
Okay
be
now.
Streamyard. Yeah, you're great now. Yeah, perfect. Yep. 5 by 5.
All right. For what I was going to ask for those that might not know, since the article was pretty much saying that he was the one who revitalized Batman and fought for rights. How did he revitalize Batman, first of all, and what rights was he actually fighting for? And I would like to hear.
Let him go first, because he started talking. Clobberin started talking about the revitalization.
I was actually talking, but you interrupted me, mate.
Oh, who's
Viking?
that?
Viking, go ahead.
Oh, Viking, go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. Don't worry, mate. It's just to me, he revitalized Batman because that was the Batman that I knew as a child, right? But he also, drew this version of the character that was darker, and was, brooding all the time. He was alone. And even though, Robin was around and all that, it was Batman actually who was taking on the show, in every comic book. And it brought us to that sort of 1930s noir sort of style, And that's what I remember the most from his Batman. And that's why, for me, as, Mark Bagley defined Spider-Man, to me, Neal Adams defined Batman as the comic book character,
Hey, Viking, if you don't mind me asking, because you said Mark Bagley. Are you like late 30s, early 40s? How old are you?
I'm from the 10th century, mate.
And Mark Bagley is your definitive Spider-Man artist? Really?
That would put him in the 90s somewhere.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I would go with
Ditko, Ramita, King.
Ramita. I like Larson a lot. I like McFarlane. But anyway, it's cool. Bagley, he took over after. Well, yeah, but it just seemed like he was trying to copy, or to me anyway, it seemed like he was trying to like take what McFarlane and then Larson did, because he took over after both of them left for Image,
right?
And it seemed like he tried to kind of meld their styles, and it just kind of it just
Yeah,
kind
I
of
agree
rubbed
with
me
that.
the wrong way. You know what I mean? When I was a kid. Oh, I was teenager.
Yeah.
It just kind of rubbed me the wrong
I
way.
wasn't a
but,
big fan of his either, but then I don't like any of the modern guys, even in the '90s. So,
Yeah.
but he Adams basically Batman was coming off of the pop culture phenomenon of the Adam West TV show, and again, which I love, by the way. But his initial adventures, written by Bill Finger and scribbled by Bob Kane, who I don't even have any respect for. There were darker times. They were more moody noir type comics, as Valkin mentioned, and stuff like that. But they gotten away from that in the 50s. The TV show, the Adam West show, very rightly portrayed what comics were like at that point. But the camp craze had kind of gone down, and sales had kind of gone down after that bump that they received from the series. And Denny O'Neil and Neal Adams, this cover that you see in the middle here, Batman 251, the Joker's 5-Way Revenge. They've been doing the series for a little while, and when they did this one, they brought back the Joker and made him scary instead of more of just a clown, literally, just nothing but a goofy character. And these guys, O'Neil and
that's
Adams,
the one that's the one I was talking about. Yeah,
yes,
the
right,
251.
classic
Yeah,
251, and they brought back again the serious or the darker Batman, not like Miller making him ridiculously, idiotically over dark in the 80s, but they brought him back enough to being the Dark Knight detective that he once was. That was O'Neil and Adams.
That's
if
my
anybody,
favorite Batman,
if
probably.
anybody out there in internet
Mhm.
land comes across the 251, because he personalized it to me, it says
Nice.
to the Dark Knight, and then he signed his name. So if anybody comes across that book, please message me.
I'm
I'll
bringing
pay
it
you
right
for
to
it.
you.
I'll pay
I'll
it for
send
I'll
it
pay
to
you
you for
for
free, man. If I find it.
Yeah, that middle cover, I remember being little, and some of y'all know the story where I used to sneak into, because my brother was way older than me, my oldest brother, and he was big into comics. All of my brothers were. But I remember that middle cover. I remember actually seeing it and kind of flipping through it, wondering, what is this? So I always associate that with him as well.
Yeah.
But I always thought I don't know, it
Great.
frightened me. That image of the Joker, me at 4 or 5 years old, that was trippy.
Well, that and
Oh,
you got
yeah.
Batman pinned to the card. I actually had that as
Yeah.
a poster also.
The Batman animated series adapted this story and combined it with another one. So, yeah.
Well,
And just look at the style. It's funny you say that. Like, this looks more out of all the comic book versions. The Batman the animated series seemed to like model
Yeah.
more after
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Emulated,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
'cause I
go.
got-
That's the word, emulated. Yeah.
my nephew was really into the animated series, so for his birthday, I got him a big, and it scared him. And he's like, "Uncle Mark, I can't." He's like, "This scares me." He was young, like 7 or whatever.
Yeah, there's
And,
a lot of
so he
emotion
couldn't
and
put up
power
on
in
his
that
wall.
cover.
He didn't put up on his. I didn't. As a kid, I'm like, oh, I guess that is kind of a scary,
Yes.
scary cover. But it was a
Really?
really cool
Well,
poster.
What you
If you
should have
just
done.
pull up Neal Adams covers, man, he did so many covers back then. I'm sorry, go ahead, Steve.
Oh, that's okay, Clark. All I want to say is, Mark, what you really should have done is just pinned it to their ceiling so they can't reach it. So when they go to bed at night and look up, it's staring down at them. I'm never
Yeah,
going to be
what
a
a great
parent,
uncle.
trust me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope to see. I'm in the comic book retail industry a lot,
Mhm.
and I do like a lot of ad designs and things like that for them. I really hope a lot of these artists will start doing some Neal Adams tribute artworks, now, because
He has a lot of imitators, that's for sure.
yeah, but why not? I mean, it'd be a perfect way to honor him, and then they can
See, what you're seeing
I'll
here,
probably do
It'll
one.
happen. It'll
I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna do
Oh.
one.
I wouldn't blame him, man. What you're seeing here is some of his modern stuff. He's been doing a lot of cover work and even some in doing a lot of comics of late, which quite frankly, he doesn't have he's not what he was. And he's of course he's got a studio there. He's got a lot of other people helping him with the art over the past 10, 20 years or something, 15 years, whatever. So he doesn't do all of his own art anymore. His son helps
Yeah, I was
him.
about to say this doesn't that looks more like
Josh,
the cover he did.
A lot of it's his son and stuff.
Yeah, I use my comic book software program. So according to Comic Base,
Yeah, it's not
he's done
really him.
966 covers.
Oh yeah, I mean, but he's
Okay.
recently been
So-
doing stuff, and it's not as good as his old stuff.
that Superman Action Comics 49. Are you sure that's Neal Adams? Because Neal Adams did that
No.
exact same cover for the
It's-
Brave and the Bold or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's remaking of his covers, but see that is, some of them.
Oh, I
is
see
him
what it says.
signing
Neal Adams variant. So these are people giving him homage. Okay.
No, he actually has been going back and doing covers. It just doesn't look the same. It's just not the same. And plus, I think his son and others are doing a lot of it for him. He's doing basic sketch stuff.
Mm.
And I mean, he did one of the worst comics ever made. I hate to say, called Batman Odyssey, which he wrote and it was terribly written and stuff. And his art just is not what it was. If you look to the side here, see that Robin cover is him mimicking one of his old covers. And it is him doing a lot of the art, although he didn't do all the finishing on it. But on the left here, you see the wraparound cover of that great limited collector's edition tabloid, which is one of his classic pieces of work, which reprints his great Rachel Cool stuff. That's him, pure Neal Adams. Giordano didn't even do any of the inking on that one. It's pure Adams, and it's brilliant.
It's beautiful.
It's 70s Adams, Yeah.
That's it. He did the same thing. That other cover you saw was like, if that was him, the what was it, the Action Comics one, that was him doing it. Was a Batman with like, I don't know, like Sergeant,
like a Sergeant Rock from Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely, he's done so many great covers, so many classic covers, like you mentioned that Flash cover. That often people will mimic the cover with different characters. He's that influential an artist.
No, and I get it, and that's why like another one of my Mount Rushmores. Hate to show my age. McFarlane. You know how many people have redone his Spider-Man 1 cover?
They have. I'm not a McFarlane fan, but I hear you. He's very popular.
Yeah.
Yes, they have. That has been redone a little bit.
It's been redone a lot, and he wasn't big until the 80s. And this dude like came up in the 60s. You know what I mean?
McFarlane didn't even have anything done until the 80s. So it was Infinity Inc.
The Hulk, the Hulk was, I think, when he
Infinity
first got noticed. Yeah. No, but first started to get noticed.
No, he didn't get noticed until his work in Marvel with the Hulk.
Spidey and Hulk.
Yeah.
There you go, right there.
That's a classic. Yeah.
Even though it's kind of a redraw, it looks like a redraw almost. It is a redo. But yes, the Hard Traveling Heroes. Green Lantern Grey Arrow number 76. Classic.
A classic one, right?
So what I'm doing now is on my program, I'm trying to download all his covers that I could maybe, if it works, maybe I could share some of those covers. No, but some of them. But I can go. I'll try to see if my program works. But but the great thing about that comic-based program, you can go from from his first cover to his last cover. I've shown.
I used to use Comic Base.
Comic Base is an awesome piece of software. Yeah. But it's But
didn't he do the Phantom?
Phantom Stranger.
Phantom Stranger?
Not the Phantom. Yeah, Phantom Stranger for DC. Phantom Stranger's a different character, but the Phantom Stranger is a DC character. Yep, he did that series for a long time.
Was that
late 60s, early 70s?
Okay.
Yeah, even if you
probably
don't know
that was before Batman then.
No, it was after around this.
It was after Batman.
Yeah. He was.
Why would you go from Batman to the Phantom Stranger?
He also did Dead Man at the time. He did Green Lantern Green Arrow. He was doing a lot of stuff back then. Those artists were pretty prolific, and Neal was. I mean, he did mostly covers, but yeah, he did some interior work. He wasn't as fast with the interiors, not like a Kirby or anything, but he was. He did do a few different titles, but Phantom Stranger usually it was a cover. He did an interior short stories once in a while. He couldn't keep the schedule of 2 main titles a month or anything.
No. Well, I mean, I'm the kind of guy. So I have friends that can draw like they can spit that shit out quick, and I'm so jealous, and it's so impressive. Me, I can do good work if you give me a minute. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like, I would if I'd ever got lucky enough to get into the comic book industry, because that's what I wanted to do when I was a kid. You can just ask my mom; she's in the chat. I would have only been able to do covers because I was never fast. You know what I mean? I was good, but I was very.
I love that one. Yeah.
Neal
never was too good at the Kirby, what they used to call the Kirby challenge, which means can you draw a full comic in 5 days and make it look decent, make it actually look printable, and not too many good.
Yeah. That's a challenge. That is definitely.
Yeah.
Especially like a 23-page comic or whatever. Love this cover.
Yeah, I do too.
Back when they had word balloons on covers too. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that was okay.
Yeah.
I just did a flyer for an event, and I put word bubbles on it.
No, I like having. I missed that in some ways.
They stopped for a while.
Yeah. And I was gonna say too. I mean, maybe you're not a comic book artist expert, or even if you've read a ton of comics, you've seen Neal Adams comics or covers. Maybe not real, and just he's just one of those all-time greats. And of course, he's probably obviously most remembered for Batman. But you've seen anyone in the chat, or you've all seen his work, whether
everybody's seen his work.
Yeah.
So just to show you what I was talking about, and I'll shut it down. I'm sharing my screen real quick. This is for my charity. We've got an event on May the 4th, and even I use bubbles
Hey,
and stuff.
Script, how you doing? I've got all 3 volumes
Ooh.
of Batman
Hey, Script.
by Neal Adams, and the little stories of his time working on Batman are fantastic.
Yes.
Mhm.
I also see
They are.
Southern Viking says Jay's comic book artists are mediocre. They're not even artists. They're just drawing pictures with colors in the same
computers.
poses we see.
You know what a
every
friend of
day.
mine showed me, which I think is effed up. It's kind of cheating. Makes me wish I was born like 20 years later, maybe even 30. They have these programs now where they you just scan models. You know what I mean? So you draw the thing once on a model, and
You
then
can replicate it and move it
They
around.
do it a lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
I've seen
Really?
that
It's
blows
almost
my
like
damn mind.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
almost
they
like
don't draw anymore.
animation.
Yeah.
It's almost like animation then. So if you want to go from one panel to the next, you're kind of
Yeah.
just,
And they've got instant backgrounds they would stick it and
Yeah.
then draw their figures on them.
Yeah, I was born
kinda
too
like-
soon, man. It's crazy.
is that like so I could be a comic book artist with color form
could.
basically. I could
Draw
just take the figures and
Look at those. Look at that Superman 78 book. Think that guy drew anything? That's a great cover. God.
And
I don't know. I miss the days of the traditional art in that
Yeah.
regard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Everything
beautiful.
today, pull up what just came out. Pull up something that just came out. Hold up, I'll tell you. I just went at the comic book shop.
while he's trying to find something to pull up and not pull out, we also have another passing. in
Well, we
agenda.
obviously know my pullout game is weak because I gave my mom 4 grandchildren. So there's that.
It's not what I was talking about, but that's cool.
Okay.
That just was really awkward.
Okay.
Only if you make it awkward, buddy.
Acclaimed Doc Savage artist James Bama died at 95, and that's pretty much what's on the thumbnail today.
Is Keith here? I thought we were waiting for Keith.
I don't know where Keith is.
Oh, okay.
We've been talking Neal Adams for half an hour, so I thought we'd bring it over to here. We can always go back.
Oh, no,
But,
for sure.
The famed painter who did covers for dozens of Doc Savage novels before becoming an award-winning fine artist has passed away at 95. Dude, 95, that's
Damn,
rare.
that's a great run.
Yeah.
You got 15 more years than Neil.
Now I'm gonna for those that are familiar, I think Clobby, you're somewhat familiar with the artist James Bama,
Mhm.
correct?
Good,
So I'm gonna
good
let
bit,
you have the floor if that's okay with you. So I'm gonna quickly somehow figure out how to do this without killing myself on the screens. So how do I get you? No, I don't want to remove you. I want to.
I don't need
you
this
up.
floor, man. I can do it without. You don't have to.
Oh no! It's my time up here. It's your time talking
Time to
about
shine.
that over there. All right, you're gonna listen to me. How do I do this? How do I make you bigger? All right, I'm gonna make you bigger, and then we're gonna.
Hey, that's me,
Oh, look at
James
that.
Bama.
Hold on. I think I got it. I'm tech savvy. No, I'm not. I'm
I
very
don't
not.
think
tech
stream
savvy.
artists can do that without kicking the rest of the panel out of the panel.
That's not true. There's. Oh, there we go. All right, so we're gonna make you big,
So,
and then we're going to add
okay.
this. Oh, that don't work either. Okay, I'm incompetent. Welcome to Incompetent Minefield. That's me too.
All right. Well, while he's figuring that out, I just want to say one thing. I'm not going to show it. If you want to see what we're talking about, Death of the Justice League just came out 2 days ago, and it looks more like a movie poster than a comic book cover. It's garbage that I could have made in probably fucking 20, 30 minutes in Photoshop, and that's not cover book comic art. So, comic book cover art. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hear you. I've seen some pictures of those. It's awful.
Yeah, I'm still buying some new comics in there. Yeah, the art.
And
is
I'm
not
still
very
giving
good
them
on
trouble
most of
about it too.
You can give me trouble all the time. Yeah.
Give them shit over it.
Why is it not there? I did it.
Hey, you did it.
You did it! Yay! Let's give him a round of
I don't
applause.
even know how you do. I don't even know how to do that.
I knew you'd do it fast, Steven.
Well done, son.
Thank you. Hello, Parrot Head. Yeah, it's Short Bus Special. That's right. That's what I call my Sunday. Short Bus Special. It's never in my mouth. So, Clobby, since you have some type of inkling with comic book history in general, since you also owned a comic book shop, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Sir.
wow.
Oh, sir. So,
My best friend owns a comic book shop.
I've owned one, run a few others. So yes, sir. But that was, of course, long ago before most of you were born in the 80s.
Galaxy far, far away.
yeah. Well, how about you give the people that are watching right now a rundown of who Doc Savage is and what you know about James Bama himself, if anything.
Okay, well, as much like James Bama, Doc Savage is not a comic book character. It's just Bama's not a comic book artist. in the early 30s. Well, they put the right name Kenneth Robeson on some, but it's actually a guy named Lester Dent, who worked. Actually, Lester Dent, or a bunch of different people used that name anyway. Created a pulp character. I'm sure many of you are familiar with pulps, the old dime novels, where this basically Clark Savage Jr. is this man of bronze, this perfect physical specimen who happens to also be an absolute genius in every single field. Yes, he's a Gary's too, I guess you could say. Doc Savage could do it all. In these great science fiction pulps, he became very, very popular, and it's some of the things that Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster were actually fans of the character, and some of the stuff they used for Superman. I mean, the Superman is not the first one to have a Fortress of Solitude, for example. Doc Savage had one before him, and they just took the name. The name was taken later.
So technically, Superman used it for a B&B. Is that what you're saying?
Say, huh? Oh yeah.
Bed and breakfast.
Yeah, they did. So anyway, yes, he was. Again, he is a science fiction adventurer who lives on the 86th floor of the Empire State Building. Who has, well, it's interesting. You and I talked about a movie. Well, we talked about The Rocketeer once, and we talked about Buckaroo Banzai a little bit. The best.
I love The Rocketeer.
Buckaroo Banzai is pretty much based on Doc Savage. To give you some sort of example. Oh, absolutely. He's got the Hong Kong Cavaliers. Doc Savage has his Fabulous Five. He's a Renaissance man who could do everything. Well, I remember when I first saw Buckaroo Banzai, one of my favorite films. I go, wow, we got a Doc Savage movie after all. There was a Doc Savage movie in 1975 that did not fare as well. Anyway, so the character's a pulp character. He wasn't really in too many comics up until the 70s, but James Bama, who was a painter of many of these types of fantasy-related books, and later went on to be one of the, as they said, a great commercial artist who painted cowboys and other types of all kinds of great imagery. He did the cover for hundreds of these Doc Savage paperbacks that were reprinted in the 60s and 70s. They reprinted the old dime novels and abridged them sometimes. They would say Kenneth Robeson on the cover, but it was really Lester Dent, was not one person. There were a couple of different people who worked. A lot of people back then didn't really credit the writers of those stories, but those books were so huge at the time. And then when I first saw Doc Savage, it wasn't. I seen a couple of comics, but I started seeing those books everywhere, and I was picking them up, and I became a fan through the books. And then Marvel did some comics. Marvel did a color series, and they did a great black and white magazine of Doc Savage, which I loved in the 70s. And then, of course, he bounced to DC. Then he bounced to many other different companies as a comic book character later. But he is traditionally a pulp character, science fiction. So it's basically the rundown of him.
This reminds me of Alex Ross's work. It looks so good,
Yeah, I think that's probably Ross has probably even said Bama's a huge influence on him.
Yeah. Well, I could totally see that,
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
The name of this model escapes me for the moment, but I forget the guy's name now. But he was
quickly.
an actor.
Sorry about that, Claudia. Quickly, Viking, you had something to say?
I was just thanking Clovering for the great information, because you see the art and oh yeah, that's James Bama in this case, right? But you don't know all these little tidbits that he's providing right now, and that's great insight, To me, he always seemed to use that light and dark the way that Frazetta used to do in his artwork, like shining in some parts that where the light is really hitting the object, and then using this darkness, but to a level of realism that really gets you into the thing, right?
Yeah, it looks like a freaking photo. That's why I was like, it reminds me of Alex Ross.
Yes.
I wish my buddy Jim. So Jim used to own Cosmic Comics, and Father Time beats us all, and he had to retire, and I wish he was still. Man, for like 10 years, he and I used to tell him, dude, you need to have a podcast called Jim's Jibber Jabber, because he just was he'd owned a comic book shop for like 20 some odd years. He just knew like everything. It was so like I could just sit and eat popcorn and talk to that guy and just listen to him for hours. You know what I mean? He's just like,
oh yeah,
I loved it.
Can I chime in on something?
No,
yes.
I first saw Obama's work actually was not the Doc Savage covers, but his First Nations work. I don't know if if y'all are familiar with his Native American paintings. Oh my,
God, that looks so good. Look at that.
about his work, it is realism. I mean, that's kind of his trademark, his stamp.
Right.
But he uses a lot of he uses a monochromatic theme, and even his paintings that have different colors, it's all very similar hue. It's all very similar tones.
Can we see an example of what she's talking about, please?
If you just pull up James Bama art, you'll see all kind of amazing stuff.
Yeah, and he uses a
You're
lot
on,
of
okay, he's on it. Yeah.
very limited backgrounds, if any backgrounds, but you still
True.
get mood, you still get feeling, you get everything you need to
No,
get
and that's
in a
like,
picture through what he does.
when
Absolutely.
you can draw something that looks like a photograph like
That's
this,
amazing, yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
need a background. Are you kidding me?
Sometimes it'll distract from the figure.
Yeah. Are you
if you
kidding me?
do.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Can't remember the damn guy's
That's supposed to be
name.
Cleopatra, or who's it?
Oh yeah, he was just incredible.
Just looks
He did a lot
real.
of his cowboy art's amazing too.
Yeah, see, I would like
Mhm.
so
And-
so
and his
Alex
Aurora
Ross
kits.
has said that this is one of his influence because I can totally see
I
that.
think I've seen him say it in an interview before. And he's also
Okay.
look at his Aurora model kits. Those are for the Universal's monsters. That's one
Uh-huh.
his other thing. The other thing other than Doc Savage and Avenger novels. Avenger being the old Avenger pulp character, not the Avengers.
Right.
But
The British one, right?
no, the old pulp one from the same people that did Doc Savage. Not the
okay.
TV show.
Okay.
But the covers for those Aurora kits, if you could find those for the Universal monsters, that's the other thing he got closest to genre that we love. So.
Yeah,
But
everyone.
he's
every
definitely
kid
influenced
did one of those.
me as
yeah.
an artist. Absolutely. Absolutely.
No,
Because sometimes it's harder to do that than it is to just stuff background into something.
oh, dude, I could never hold a candle to anybody. I do not do realism at all. Anybody who's seen my artwork, it's straight up, it's cartoony shit. Like I don't do like mad respect for people, and it still takes me forever to do it. So it's like, my kids are more talented than me, and they're 13 and 16. So.
And these model kits were so popular. I was reading that they had to go into production 24/7 because of this
these are
artwork, too.
drawings.
Yeah, because of this artwork. So if you're born in the 60s, so the
Painting, so.
Frankenstein model came out in 63.
My brothers had 'em all.
Was the first, and because of the art, that's how you sell the stuff, right? So everyone saw these and wanted these Aurora model kits, and I was born in 68, and I wanted. I think I had a couple of these, might have gotten thrown away, but they kept producing these, but they were so popular, the art was so great that they had to produce them 24/7.
Oh wow! No,
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that Wolfman one in CM Punk's background of his podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, so those are fantastic kits.
I love
Yeah.
those. Yeah, those are great.
I see
That
what
looks
Arwin
awesome.
means, in the use of background here in this case, or lack thereof rather, makes an impact as well, and conveys a message and an emotion.
Well, yeah,
And I
because
think
instead of
that's all right, mate. It's just that I think that's one of the key elements of his artwork, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so good.
that's-
because
You
it
don't
draws
need a
your
distraction,
focus and your attention on the character and on his work instead of getting distracted by, ooh, look, a squirrel, look at the background. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I actually love it.
And it's all in the face. All in the face. Draws you right to that face. And that tells you
Yeah.
pretty much everything you need to know.
And it's
That
so
expression.
crazy
He did-
detailed with
Yeah,
the
he's good.
glistening, like
Amazing.
Yes.
sweat and the sheen and the shine of the reflection of light and shadows and just
Mhm.
great work, man.
Book covers, magazine article interiors, magazine covers. I mean, his body of work is extraordinary and so varied, as you can see.
Yeah. He could do anything. He could do any genre. He could do any. Yeah, he could do it all.
I hate
But
to
it was
ask.
always his stamp. It was always his style.
Yes.
He created style. He didn't emulate. He was emulated. I'm sure he had artists that influenced him because everybody,
There-
in whatever creative
Everybody
genre
does,
you're at, there is someone who influences you and who inspires
are-
you.
Yeah, there are innovators and imitators, and this dude was an
He was
innovator.
definitely an innovator. Yes,
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah. So you guys will be relieved because it means I can't interrupt you. I'm going to go ahead and call my mom because I'm getting way too much grief.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Hey,
My mom just called me.
I'll be back.
Feeling left out. Mom
I
didn't
don't
call
know.
me yet.
No one calls me, so it's all good.
My mom's not watching the show though. Yeah, and I would just want to add too. None of those model kits that I did or any of my friends did ever look that good. But I would love those covers.
Yeah.
You know, the arms are falling off.
Those
Painted.
are-
I mean,
they did a
they're
good job on
gorgeous
those.
kits,
Close
but
enough.
whoever made those, yeah. But we
Well,
were
that's
still
just-
building them though. Yeah.
Well, that's just it. Like that's with me with statues, right? Sometimes the box art is so good you don't want to take it out at all.
Yeah.
And that way you just play it that way. I've done it. All of my book and mask sets, some of my flash statues, everything is still in box. And I'm not going to mention pop figures because that's not artwork. But Clavby will start going on a tangent.
I
'cause
will
he's
not.
like- he literally just made that noise. He literally made that noise. He's like,
Not.
Clappy's
He was-
triggered.
it was going to go from clobbering times to clobbering and his banjo time. It was gonna be like,
Nonsense.
this is why I hate pop punk.
I love everything.
Now I know what to send you for Christmas, Clappy.
Yes. I'll give you Steven's address to send it to me.
Oh come on, the Gorn does not approve Clobbering Times. Come on, this is a great Gorn pop. Come on,
I'm not going to do it.
doesn't get
My voice
doesn't
already
get
hurts.
better than that, right? Yeah.
My Gandalf doesn't approve
My
either.
Clobbering
Mark.
doesn't go-
That one's okay.
Yeah,
At least he's out of the box. Maybe that's it. I'm sick of the boxes. If people had their pops out of their boxes, I'd probably be nicer to them. I hate those boxes.
Okay, so it's the box, Clappy. All right.
Yes, I just figured it
Set
out.
your
Thanks,
toys
Mark.
free, right?
You've heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Clobbering Times hates box.
Boxophobic.
Sorry.
I'm a boxist.
Oh my god.
This joke is going over everyone's head.
No, it's not actually. That's why I'm laughing.
But wait,
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like this Bama cover from this book. Let's see if it's nowhere here. Whoop.
where is it?
Am I allowed to share? Am I allowed to
you're
share something?
Yeah, you're allowed to share it. No, what is this? Like, no.
Well, there we go.
Oh.
The Avenger, the same guy who created Doc Savage. He didn't do as many books, Justice Inc. books, but I've always loved that cover. I mean, again, it's just moody covers. All those. I bought tons and tons of those Doc Savage books in the 80s and 90s. Everywhere, anytime I go to a used bookstore, you can find them for a couple of bucks. You know, they were great stuff.
I mean, look, it's not even a full figure. It's just, but it draws you in, and you know exactly what it's trying to say.
Yes.
That's talent.
Yeah, but that's exactly it, though. That's the thing with why we loved covers so much. If you saw a cover that grabbed your eye, you were pretty much going to buy that comic book. And now we're at the point now with comic books in general, especially mainstream or even modern comic books, that's why they're making crap tons a lot more variants, and they're making the better variants. They're making the variant covers more expensive because they're better covers, and that's where they're trying to score in their money. Because I don't buy covers anymore. Like I missed, like let's look at the Todd. Was it the Todd McFarlane cover with the Spider-Man crouched over with the webs all around from the torment?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
My friend was mentioning earlier. Dork was mentioning earlier.
Yeah, I have
they
the
redid
red
that, or?
suit. I have the red suit. I have the black suit one. I don't have any of the chromatic ones, which I really want. When you shine and they go like that. But you don't get any covers like that anymore that grabs you at all. You
Yeah.
think about it.
No, and the covers used to be the big deal. Yeah.
Remember the
Yeah.
Remember the Superman covers, Clobby, back from Comic Roundtable? It had like the weird art of the Superman
yeah.
that looked like Herman Munster and crap, and then like this.
Oh yeah, I remember when you showed that. Yeah. As
Yeah.
opposed to who we were talking about earlier, is not just with Bama, with Neal Adams. Covers are the first impression you get of the comic book,
Mhm.
and sometimes the interior is never as good as the cover, but you still, even if it disappointed you inside, you go, well, it's a pretty cool cover though. That's something.
And quickly, Viking, you had something to say?
I think that what you are saying is true about the covers, and artists like I'm here, like that capture your attention with just a cover. That is something that we do not see very often anymore,
Yeah.
But also, we are flooded with all these variant covers, to have the industry turn out a profit, and to incentivize buying this and that. And I reckon that is not, how covers used to work in the past. It was just to display the art, like we've got so many good people working here that we want you all to know what they are doing with the artwork, And when in the time of Bama making covers and all that, I think that was just like, hey, this is we're trying to get the best of the best to draw this cover because we know what we have inside is going to equal the artwork that the outside is projecting, and we don't have any of that anymore,
I
100%. Yep.
I agree fully, and it's at the time now where we're losing artistic qualities because covers are like a miniature poster, but they're also the gateway into what your imagination is going to perceive is going to be in that story. And if you're not getting it,
Yeah.
what the hell happened?
Yeah, because years ago they would have not that many covers. I'm trying to remember. Was it Legends of the Dark Knight? Was it had the 5 different colors?
Yes.
On the covers.
Oh,
Was that the start?
That was a flashback. What I was trying to do is like that's the reason why I have stuff like that. And there's the 2 Spider-Man right
great
there.
Covers, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you can see the degradation over time. And I do like the next 192 ones because they reminded me of it. You got
Cool wall.
old Punishers. You got the
Cool.
Lost Years.
Hey, I like that hat. I think
It's a
I can't see
Funko
that.
hat. It's a Funko hat there,
okay.
Bobby. Yeah,
It's out
look,
of the
Bobby
box.
likes
It's out of the
Funko.
box.
No, I don't like
Bobby just got outed for liking a Funko hat.
Oh, yeah, but I have to
Yeah,
change my mind on
maybe
that
not
one
the
now.
boxes, but the hat.
Yeah, I hate to backtrack on it, but now I don't. So.
No backsies.
Well, yeah,
Tom.
I was talking about the Compex program I use, and they had to have talk about. Oh, I love that Batmobile. They would use letters, so they had some covers had more than 26 versions. So they had to figure out their naming convention, because they'll do like 1A, 1B, and like, did we go AA or B? So and you look at new comics and like usually they have like 5 or 6 variant covers. I mean, on most of it,
Well,
it's
unless you're
insane.
Dynamite, unless you're Dynamite, then you got 400 covers, and you're like,
Yeah.
pick
But
one,
I mean,
dude.
that's just like a regular issue will have, like variant covers most of the time. So, when I do my subscription, would take more time to go through and select the variant cover you want for the month. It could take you like 20 minutes to figure out what you want, because you get one per the subscription. It's insanity, and it doesn't make the books better, and it's just a cash grab to get you to buy extra covers. But they're trying to inflate the numbers of books sold. But I think it's just a crazy, ridiculous trend in the comic book industry, and it's not ending anytime soon, unfortunately.
Now
Agreed.
there's some, and now there's something else that has kind of falls in line with destroying a cover, and this comes from bounding into comics, and that is watching the death of X-Men
boy.
97. Yeah, Claudia, you saw this article too. Yeah.
I saw that one.
X-Men 97 head writer hints Disney Plus series will reflect modern issues. The world is a very different place than when the original was first made. That's true, but it was also
I agree with that.
fictional place too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. Now
No
I don't
more
need to watch
rogue
it.
booty. No more rogue booty.
No, yeah, of course not. It will look like that.
In the latest indication that the series will suffer from the same critical, that was a critical race theory. As soon as I saw those words, I was like, oh my, I'm a critical theory-based writing that has doomed so many productions before. X-Men 97 head writer Bo DeMeo, oh God, who named you? I'm sorry, has suggested that the upcoming Disney Plus, funeral, as I'm calling it right now, of the classic Marvel series will see a focus on today's world woven into the story. I can't wait for Black
Yay.
I don't remember them doing that with the original X-Men 97,
No.
did they?
No.
It was just the comic book stories, right? So
Yeah.
I guess they're signaling they're going to have an agenda, which is great.
Oh
to
yeah,
know.
yeah. It's gonna be
Just
all white
how you-
people hate
Yay.
mutants. That's what it is. That's what we call it. X-Men 97, right?
And you know what the original had, from the 1992 until the end, it had Joseph Calamari on board with the, he was like a consultant or something like that. And we know that he was also involved with the comic book. So they had comic book people involved to ensure that the adaptation was as close as possible to the comic books that people used to read,
Yeah, well, Larry
So-
Houston actually liked comics. That's why that show turned out the way it did. Larry Houston was very faithful to comics.
Now instead of getting like the Pantera guitar, we're going to get like probably a violin from a fourth grader.
Oh Lord!
No, it's not even going to be that. It's going to be. It's going to be. No, it's going to be a Karen at like a Tim Hortons going re 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 manager.
Re.
I mean, and of course the original X-Men in the comic, if you know a little bit older and you remember the old stuff, I mean, it was obviously an allegory for race or discrimination,
Right.
but they told great
minorities
stories,
were
and it was the way they told the allegory. It's almost you can compare how STD, how they bang you over the head with their politics versus giving you more subtle stories or letting you see certain stories, both sides, or making you think when you watch something where it's not so obvious. I mean, so politics have been there, but also not the focus of every story, but it's a subcurrent. But this is the way they tell the stories today that are so offensive. And STD tried to redo the Galileo 7 this season. It was just an abomination if you put yourself through watching it.
Mark, what you're describing is pretty much the layer system when it came from Star Trek. It wasn't forcing you to think and feel like it was pushing it on you. It was supposed to make you come up with your own assumptions based on how you're intaking the information and the entertainment at the same time. Right. X-Men delivered the same type of thing. X-Men were everyone could relate to mutants because it wasn't one skin color, one race, one anything. Hold on. Let me finish my sentence. Hold on. And we had things like mutants that were all different colors. They were all colors of skins. Think about it. It was orange, yellow, green, blue, yet all that stuff. But they were all targeted for one thing because they were different from the human race. And that's why people were able to acknowledge so well. They might have had fantastic powers, but they were still hated by everyone. And Xavier's fight for rights just to have them the same length as just normal humans was one of those things that caught people. Because not only were they fighting bad guys, they were trying to say they were better than human beings. You had the opposite side trying to fight to get the equal rights alongside human beings.
You're talking about the Brotherhood of Mutants was the one trying to say they were the better than humans.
They was Magneto's prophecies pretty much at that point.
The Brotherhood of Mutants. So look, I was listening the whole time, and I just wanted to say that's the difference between good storytelling, the allegories that we got from X-Men, and the woke ass shove it down your throat shit we're getting now from things like Picard, and in stupid shows like that. And it's sad, and just to make my mama proud, that's like it. Like here's the thing. I'm not
sorry.
I'm not a Christian. I was raised Christian, but I'm not a Christian anymore. But I do appreciate the allegories for, like, if you read the Bible and you think of it as a work of fiction, I can appreciate the allegories in it, just like I could appreciate the allegories in X-Men. I mean, you could even make the argument that X-Men was like, I have a lot of gay friends, and my brother's gay, that have argued that the X-Men were also an allegory for gay people. You know what I mean? Basically, anybody who's just like being denied their civil rights or being othered because
that's the beauty of it, because you could
different.
Identify with. I was a fat kid growing up. You could identify with.
Exactly.
Because you're a gay. That's what makes those stories so well, because it could be tied to other stories, or it could be because of the interpretation. But
whereas
today,
now
what you're saying, it's one thing only.
Yeah, no, right, exactly. Like look at Discovery. That's actually a better example than Picard. Look at Discovery. So instead of using an allegory for gender rights or gender equality or LGBTQ, Kadish said something on Salty Nerd the other day I never heard before. Apparently there's a few more letters now with pluses and minuses or some shit. Like, is that
it's LGBTQ plus minus wingdings.
Is that true?
No, it's no wingdings.
See, that's how gullible I am. Don't do that to me, man. No,
be careful.
No, Kadish, like, I'm trying to be, I want to be. No, I want to be not, like
black.
Never mind.
You want to be knowledgeable and not be joked around with. I get it. But that's pretty much what it is. They're going down through every alphabet, every symbol, and they're trying to. It seems to get longer and longer with each year.
It's like, when is enough enough? I mean, when are we gonna It's gonna take a fucking alien invasion before we realize, hey man, everybody on the third rock from the sun, we all bleed red. We're all human. When are we going to get to that point? Maybe I watched too much Star Trek as a kid, but when are we going to get to that point?
When they leave, the only letters that'll be left over when they're done is C, I, and S, and that will stand for cis.
I can only
so
tell
what are we
you
going to say, Dork? What are we going to say about STD?
I just hope that what I am about to say is true, mate. But the pendulum has swung just so far to the other side that by the time when it comes back, at least the things are going to be a little bit more, even. right? So then that's the only thing that we can hope for, that when the pendulum comes back, things are a little bit more normal. If there's any definition for that,
Let me
that
let me
we do
let
not
me
have to deal with this sort of thing, that it's going to the extremes, because right now we are suffering a lot of intolerance,
so
and that's exactly what things like the X-Men TV show and the comic books of that time used to teach us about,
dude.
so we didn't learn squat about it.
I I freaking love the X-Men TV show, and I'm actually so glad they're bringing it back because they ended it on a cliffhanger. I remember being so pissed as a kid. Um,
All those
the
shows back then ended like that.
right,
Spider-Man 2.
but I just think that, like, think about it. Anybody who's familiar with the history of North America, when the British came over here to settle this land I live on now, it did not go well for the indigenous people of this land. Just like it will not go well if we ever get an alien invasion. And by then, for us to unite, if you look at the Native Americans, their thing was, is if they had united, they might have stood a chance, but there was still so much infighting between themselves. You know what I mean? That it was easy for a united British colonizer to divide and conquer them because they wouldn't unify. And it's going to be the same. I swear, I hope it never happens, but it's going to be the same. Aliens ever invade, if we don't have our shit together before then, they're going to be able to easily divide and conquer.
Oh, yeah.
And take it over, and it's just, when are we, why do we have to learn? What did Winston Churchill say? He said, like, humans always do the right thing when it's the last.
I got quickly while he Googles that, is to say one thing. How do we know the aliens already haven't looked at us and said, no, we're not even going to invade them?
They turned around and went home. They said, I'm not messing with that.
Well, they'd be so technologically advanced anyway. We wouldn't be able to do much if at this point, if they had faster than light drive, and it'd be like the Star Trek Enterprise showing up around planet Earth. That would, if they weren't from the Federation that we know and love, it would be game over, man, pretty quickly.
Yeah. So I think I got muted by Steven, so that's cool.
No, I didn't mute anybody.
Are there any UK people in the chat or on the panel that know what I'm talking about? It's a famous Winston Churchill quote. It's like, we always do the right thing when we have no other choice, or something like that. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Like, nobody?
No, I was too busy not muting anybody.
All right.
Bueller.
We can Google it. Yeah.
We need a Jamie, like on the Joe Rogan podcast. Somebody just like Google shit for us.
See, the other thing that I was going to is to the end of this whole interview, Jemima revealed to Maheen his philosophy towards the revival's production, explaining, I think the challenge to me was honoring that earnestness, that emotional sincerity in the show, where it wasn't just about the big bad of the day. That was almost, in some cases, an afterthought, the writer recalled. It was really about the relationship of this found family and how they cared about each other and had disagreements. Then why do you need to worry about today's...
Well, okay, I guess I agree with those statements. Maybe they contradict the previous statements, but that's just feeds into the stuff we were just talking about how it was such a great way to use allegory for storytelling to not... to bring attention to certain things without, just like Star Trek, the original series used to do. That's another one that was great at it. You know what I mean? Like the episode, I'm glad Salty Trekker's not here. I forget the name of the episode, but the dude that was like, that had the planet where they're half white and half black, but half the planet.
Yep.
The black and white cookie. Yes.
Frank Gorshin.
Be the last battlefield.
Let that be their last. Let that be our last battlefield. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That episode, they did so much stuff like that, or how they got away with the first interracial kiss because Kirk was being mind controlled to kiss her, and that's the only way a white man could possibly kiss a black woman in the '60s. You know what I mean? It's that's how they got away with, when we know that's ridiculous, but that's how they got away with stuff like that. And now, instead of telling stories in intelligent ways like that and thinking outside the box to send the message they want to send without beating you over the head with it, now they just beat you over the damn head with it, and it sucks.
And there's one quote here also comes from the article. There's other stuff that comes up in this article. I think everyone should deserves to read it after they have a chance. And so it is more of a question of what does the show look like knowing what we know now, he asked, and how it looks like in today's world with everything that has changed and everything that hasn't changed, sadly. This is the one that bothers me, that hasn't changed, sadly.
Idiots.
That's where it sounds like it's throwing in
we know what it's throwing in.
the activism.
Yeah.
Because
No, hold up.
let me. I'm not done. Hold on. I'll get you. The reason why I'm saying this from an opinion point of view is because if they're only focusing on what hasn't changed, then they're going to be. You can see where they're going to insert stuff. Because at the end of the day, we don't know what's happened since that cliffhanger, and whether or not the mutant rights are still the same as humans, and that's where pretty much you can go from there. And there you can start layering in different things and new things that have been going on since the series ended. I'm just saying from opinion.
May I now?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So no, hold up, don't move it. So if you look at the first part of that, it does we can't really criticize this until the show comes out, because the first part of it says with everything that has changed and everything that hasn't. Okay, so it has changed and hasn't. That doesn't mean they're going to necessarily be like Discovery or Picard and
In today's world,
stuff down our throat. If they are, then I will be one of the first to pour a bunch of salt on top of it. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't know. To
I
me, the
disagree
word
with you, man.
sadly thrown in there is a clue.
yeah.
Because that's something
Yeah.
you kind of hear in a lot of activism. We
And
tried, but sadly, but to our shame, to our detriment, blah 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 blah. That word is the key to me, and that's what makes me nervous.
you're saying because this person worked on the original, so tried the allegory stuff, tried all of that, and it in that person's mind still didn't work. Now I'm going to go the Discovery route and shove it down your throat. Is that what you're worried about? Because
That's what I'm worried
No, I
about.
am.
Okay.
And quickly,
Okay.
and quickly before that, Gary is on the road and wanted to stop by and say hi. Hi, Gary. We see you in the
Hey,
chat.
Gary.
Gary,
And and
Oh, Gary.
Viking wanted to jump in next. And go ahead, Viking.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks, mate. I agree with Arwin. And I disagree a little bit with Dark Knight, because I'm tired, of giving these companies and these people the benefit of the doubt. I think that we are not to give them any benefits. They are there to provide content, product, entertainment, whatever you name it. I am not going to give any company an opportunity if what they think to produce or intend for me to buy is not something of my liking. I'm not going to wait until this comes out to denounce these things. Like, for instance, Arwin is right. The key word is there. The words that they are using to describe this sort of thing. And especially, I am not going to give them any benefit of the doubt, considering what we have been through in the past.
Isn't that kind
Recently,
of a
we
glass half empty kind of thing, though, bro? Come on.
just let me finish, mate.
Sorry.
And then I answer that, because maybe you will see why I'm saying this. We are seeing this with the Rings of Power, right? The Rings of Power is another one of those shows that says we are glad to bring Tolkien's work under a light of modern sensitivities and all that. We have a similar situation with Masters of the Universe Revelation. This is a sequel for all those old fans, but in a modern light. We saw this also with Star Wars. We have seen this time and time again. They are repeating the same patterns. And, I believe that if you expect changes following the same path, then you are completely, mad, mental. And that's the same thing here. If you expect me to believe you when you are following the same path of other people, in the past that have disappointed us by bringing activism to the entertainment, you can count me out. That's what I'm saying, based on experience, mate.
But how do you
That's why I
know
disagree.
who made that quote? How do you know this is somebody supposedly who worked on the original series? How do you know this person feels the way that you're saying, other than how do you not give the benefit of the I don't know.
Well, I would say scroll down a little bit. You'll see what the person is saying in the
that's
article.
Bye, Gary. Well, I
Yeah.
haven't seen this article. Bye,
Yeah,
Gary.
no,
Love you, man.
No problem. No, that's the whole thing about debate, and that's the thing. Though, at any moment in time, the original X-Men cartoon is still set in a fictional world. No mutants live in our real world. So even if you're trying to insert in a layer format and say things like, "We want to give a retrospective of what's going on in today's world because the world has changed and what hasn't changed, sadly," so that automatically means they're taking a bias on what they have related themselves to with X-Men. It sounds like that, and they're even if they don't try to push it, they can still throw it in there. It depends on the delivery.
Can please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
all right. So back in the so back when the X-Men are okay. I'm just gonna stick to the cartoon because I was in the 90s. I don't want to go back all the way to the 60s. So in the 90s, like interracial relationships, being gay, AIDS, any people feel free to help me out, but there were like these kind of like third rail hot topics that were like we would ostracize those people as
Video gamers, heavy metal.
Hillary Clinton with her attack on video games, all that stuff during the 90s.
Tipper Gore and
Was it Tipper Gore? I thought it was Hillary.
Well, also Tipper.
Oh no, Tipper Gore
rating,
was against like
music
body
and
count, music.
music. Yeah.
So I know. Sorry, my one of my friends just texted me that Neal Adams died. I'm sorry. Anyway, so and it totally threw me off track. Anyway, what was I saying?
Though some may argue Milham's comments do not lend themselves to any specific narrative, Bent, the outspoken opinions of a number of the show's production team may provide some clues into X-Men 97's future.
So,
and this is coming from the production team. You're going to like this, and I'm probably scary. Please don't hate me if you see this in the future. Previously, the show's supervising director pinned a tweet to his personal account, a function which holds a given post at the top of the user's profile, featured a message declaring, "That's right, FT, y'all still your boy, F you too." Likewise, X-Men 97 supervising producer Charlie Feldman declared in a tweet that repeated the message, DT cannot condemn WS because he is a WS. Okay, this is the production team of this cartoon. And now we're on to the third one. She would also eventually take issue with the acquittal of KR, taking to Twitter in the near immediate aftermath of his not guilty verdict to declare the cynical inevitability of the R verdict doesn't take out the pain of what this status quo racist BS represents, the T it instills, and the lethality it codifies. KR is a beeping WS. Now, as I continue, Feldman has vividly explained that her personal writing is filled with such tropes as grappling with G, himbo good boys, mom stuff, QK kids going on adventures that have zero to do with their queerness, folk myth, fairy tales. Neil Gaiman probably did this better anxiety in the future. Oh my God! To this end, the 97 lead showrunner Eric Lawal has promised that the revival will not only be developed for the core audience of maybe teens on Disney Plus, no one's watching, and adults, but also explore adult themes. Nightcrawler looks terrified. They're starting out with adult themes. Lawal said during a November appearance on the Power of X-Men podcast, they're starting out with thinking of this is a bunch of adults throwing together, struggling with something. We're going to show the melodrama, and we're going to show you some of the personal things that adults go through.
You see,
all right, look, here's all I care about. You know what? I'm not even going to argue anymore.
This is why I am not giving it the time of day, or the benefit of the doubt, mate. Because of this thing that they have said.
Don't you guys want to know what happens to Professor X? I mean, come
No.
on, man.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for years.
It depends. I want to know what happens to him as far as in the realm, but I don't give a shit who he's going to bang next week.
No. Like,
Why?
he's like, is he dead? Is he not dead? Is he like?
All right, here, I got an answer for you. Doctor Strange, the rumors are there, the multiverse of madness, that Wanda's going to kill him, and that is the 97 Xavier. He's
okay.
dead.
You know
There we
what?
go.
I read that somewhere too, because I guess on like the XD, or what's it called, the one where they show the movies on the side, you could see more of the trailer, and it showed that Professor X was in a gold wheelchair like from the cartoon, And like, is that the article
Yeah.
you're talking about, Steve?
I've seen that.
Right,
Yeah.
Look, I loved the show in the 90s. I would get up. I don't care what I had going on. I would get up and I would watch this. This was kind of my He-Man. Okay.
See, I
This
didn't have
was
to. I didn't have to
my-
get up. So when I was a kid, well, no, I was like 13, 14. It was X-Men and then Batman, but it was at night. It was like 6 and then 6:30 or something like that.
Yeah, no,
And this
mine
was
was
in North
in the
Carolina.
afternoon.
Those
Yeah.
were Saturday morning cartoons for us.
No, not for me, man. This was prime time television where I lived.
Well, the point is this, Dork, and I want to address this because I get where you're coming from. You're like, look, what? Okay, we don't really know what's going to happen. Why can't we give it a chance? Let's not be so jaded. Let's take a step back and breathe. I understand that. I get that. I'm a very positive person. I'm very much an idealist. But where IPs have gone today, I have seen so much that's kind of broken my heart. It's like they are damned and determined not to follow canon or not to honor source material or to bring. Hang on a minute. I'm not done yet. Or they will flood it with social justice crap, which has no place. It is entertainment.
No,
And
I
we
agree
have
with you.
seen that so much out of Hollywood today, or whoever is doing it, that it makes you just go, oh my God, and take a step back and think, okay, where are they going to take this? We are jaded, and it's sad that we are.
Well,
I
let me ask
hate
you,
being that way.
Arwen, I honestly don't know the answer to this question. What are your thoughts on Moon Knight? The new series, the Moon Knight.
I
series.
haven't seen it yet. I have not seen it yet. I'm
Damn.
waiting until the
Okay.
entire series come out, and then I've binge
fair
watched.
enough. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I don't think
Well, when
Moon
you're
Knight
done,
has
I'd
been-
love.
Lucky you.
Yeah, lucky
Wow,
you. I would
really?
say it hasn't been as
Piece of
political
garbage.
as
I like
expected,
it a
but-
lot, actually. It's
Wow,
been-
you
But there's
stayed
no
awake to
Moon
watch
Knight in it.
Wow.
it's the least. Well, no,
They should do a Moon Knight show, I think.
Moon Knight. You guys are so funny. Moon Knight wasn't in the last 2 episodes
He's been in
because
11 minutes total in 5 episodes, dude.
I agree with Clover in this one as well. The point here is, mate, that you are asking if I am not eager to have a cliffhanger resolved. A cliffhanger is almost 30 years old. I have moved on, mate. I mean,
well, you might have,
maybe
but
at
I
the time-
haven't. I haven't. Hey, I haven't.
Hold on,
maybe
let
at
me
the
finish.
time I was bummed about it, because I was bummed about not finding out whatever happened to Mary Jane, in the
Thank you.
1990s. But I don't care anymore, I moved on, and to be honest with you, if they're going to bring this sort of thing just to resolve that cliffhanger, no, thank you, mate. I just want quality entertainment, and that's what we are not having. We're not having any of that, in my opinion, of course, but it's not quality entertainment. It's just woke agenda and the pursuing of the message and all that. And it is just quoted as entertainment, but it's really not. It's
You know what's?
indoctrinating.
I have to quickly add to that, Viking. How I don't know how many episodes it is, but do you think we're getting an episode where we're going to have like extremists try to take over the political building? Anybody? Do you think an episode like that's going to pop in there?
Probably.
Does anyone on this panel agree that's going to happen?
It's a good
Yeah, it would
possibility.
On what?
It would be in the
Likely.
checkbox, the checkbox.
What show?
X-Men.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
going to
it's-
stop extremists taking over like their version of the White House. Any money.
Well,
That's gonna be
I wouldn't be surprised considering the background of who's running the show. I mean, yeah, I agree with Dork. I always watch stuff and give stuff a chance. I agree. Like Moon Knight has not been overtly political, but I've
enjoyed
disappointed in
Moon
the series.
Knight, man.
But yeah, but that's great. If
They should
I
put
know, I
Moon
mean,
Knight in it.
I thought the last
Nobody-
episode had some good scenes, but that's just a story. That's a storytelling debate versus hey, what are they doing politically or what are they? That's a debate. That's a good one that
Well,
we should have. Is like I don't like the story now, which I wish we had more of those where we could say, oh, well, I think they should
So-
have been like 20 years ago versus oh, we're arguing about all the messaging that they're.
So
putting into it.
Mark. So sorry guys, I don't want to derail us, but to what you just said, the last episode of Moon Knight, right? We don't get to see Moon Knight really. 2, it takes place in like the precursor to afterlife. Well, it's not
Or
really
purgatory.
Afterlife. Yeah, it's like purgatory. It's like right before afterlife. And so like, what did you not like about the story? I didn't see any political agendas. I didn't see
That's
any
what I think. That's
messaging. I
that's
didn't
what
see-
I'm.
either.
But that's what
I
I'm.
didn't say either.
That's what I'm agree. I'm wishing we had more of those. We're able to have more of those debates these days versus what
Right, story
how the
quality
direction
as
shows
opposed to
story
agendas,
quality
per se.
versus I've been saying, not to derail to go to Moon Knight, but I've been saying like these 5 episodes could have really been compressed maybe to 1 episode, or but that's like a debate on storytelling. I think the acting has been excellent. I think this Mark Spector character versus the Steven character, the acting, and that has been fantastic. I didn't like the hungry hippo having a crazy voice and being but that's the things you can
I
talk about.
laughed.
Yeah,
but in my defense, I was really stoned when I was watching.
Yeah,
it,
I mean,
I laughed so hard.
But unfortunately today when we talk about comics, we're not like the latest thing miniseries.
Right.
They're throwing in all these blatant political overtones.
So do you
into
think?
it.
So let me ask you this: are you familiar with the Moon Knight comics?
Not I've read a few in
Shit.
past, but I'm
Okay.
definitely
So
not a Moon Knight expert. But I
okay,
know
okay.
that
Has everybody here watched the episodes that have except for Arwen? Arwen, cover
No.
your ears. Anybody?
Oh,
Nobody?
I'm fine. I'm good
No.
with spoilers. I'm good. It's fine.
No. Well, I don't know if it's a spoiler. This is from the comics. Has anybody? Okay.
I mean, the characters changed so much.
So
over the years,
whoever's watched the show, you remember that episode where like Steven kind of blacks out, and
Which
then
one
he
was
comes
that?
back, and then he's like, "Oh my God, Mark, what did you do?" And then Mark's like, "I didn't do that." So you guys know, like, or maybe you don't. So Jake Lockley, yeah, he's another personality that they haven't shown yet, and I'm thinking that like once Jake gets into the picture, it's going to be all Moon Knight, and we'll
You got
all
one
be
episode
happy.
left, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, this season. Come on, man. It's the
season.
slow
That's the only
burn.
season, dude.
No, it's not.
this
not
has
gonna
been
be
the
another
slowest burn ever.
Oh,
The slowest
I've
burn.
had indigestion that
nobody likes long-term storytelling
Oh my God,
anymore.
dude!
I
Make
wanna
a show
stretch
with
that taffy.
I'll tell you
Stretch that
one thing,
taffy.
Dorton. I'll give you the show one thing. This may be the only TV show or movie I've ever seen based on a quote unquote superhero that has zero to do with the superhero and nothing. I mean, the title character is there 11 some odd minutes. I think it's boring crap anyway. I don't like particularly this iteration of Moon Knight at all. Nevertheless, they decided to go with that modern iteration. Fine. You still can't look how brilliant the Daredevil Netflix show was, and they delivered in the first 5 minutes. You were hooked on Daredevil. They had other things going on in each story, but you were never shorted on Daredevil in any episode, even in some that dealt with other things. It was a Daredevil show, and you never
Are you
forgot
kidding
it.
me? We didn't see Daredevil in his outfit until the season finale.
and I didn't like that.
But he
I
was
against
Daredevil.
that, but he was still Daredevil, though, and he was
Just kicking
still running
ass.
around.
He was
and
Daredevil,
was
mate.
still-
And he
I
was
don't like the
also
ninja outfit, but
yeah.
and I'm with you there. I wish they had given it to him very early on, but aside from that, they still deliver on the Daredevil action. This is 5 episodes of boring pap with 10 minutes.
You really
of Moon Knight.
wow.
It's horrible.
Eh,
It's badly
oh,
written.
Hold on a second. Script Doctor
Terrible.
quickly jumps in. A slow burn only works if it can light you on fire by the end. Otherwise, it's just gas you can't pass. Thank you for listening to my
And boys,
indigestion
this show
comment.
fit that perfectly.
Oh, you know what, Script Doctor? I know everybody
Way to go,
loves
Script.
you, and everybody like quotes you like scripture. And why don't you just get on the panel and we can talk? But it's not over yet. And you know what? If
It's over this next week.
Well,
More, though,
to
man.
defend
Wait,
Dork,
wait.
and I
yeah.
did like a lot of stuff in the last episode. I thought the stuff with his
Yeah.
mom and the origin was fantastic, but I just
Really?
think it's been getting too long to get. No, some of those scenes, I don't want to spoil things, but
I got
I
you.
thought some of those, Isaacson was fantastic in acting, and I thought some
he's
of those
good.
things were really touching and well done. But I'm agreeing with Klobby. Let's throw those great scenes in flashbacks, and the script is saying, you have to deliver at the end. So let's see.
you know what the
But
real
I miss seeing Moon Knight in this. Really,
I know. You know what the real problem is the new model of these TV shows. They're not really TV shows. They're freaking 6 to 8 hour movies. It
Right.
is like they don't get their 27 to whatever episodes anymore. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're not episodic. They don't tell pocket stories. They tell one long. They're like I said, they're 8 to 10 hour movies, and I feel like the best example of this, in my opinion, is fucking Picard. Like there have been at least 4 episodes of Picard that you watch episode 1 and 2 and the latest episode, and you miss nothing. You know what I mean?
No,
like it's like
that's-
all those other
episode,
episodes were worthless. They
The whole show's worthless. Yeah.
they did not progress. No, the whole series. Season 1 and 2.
All worthless. Yeah.
All it did, and I said this
You're
on.
right.
I do the Saturday morning salty nerd Star Trek, whatever the hell they call it thing, And
Great
we,
promotion right there. Great
yeah,
promotion.
well, I don't. You know what? They don't promote me, so whatever. It's the salty.
I'm going to
Nerd
be on that
Saturday.
that salty
Whatever.
podcast. Trek
All we do is
thingy.
bitch and complain, and I hate to be a negative Nancy, but like I hate Picard so much because I used to participate in the Who's Better, Kirk or Picard, and I'm like 100% now. There's no debate thanks to this series.
Oh, God,
Thanks to this
You're
series,
right, buddy.
Kirk all the way.
In fairness, though, Dork,
Kirk
that's
all the
not
way,
real-
baby.
In fairness, although I'm always a Kirk firster anyway, let's be a little bit fair. That's not the real Picard anyway. That show has nothing to do with real Star Trek.
No, yeah, it's
and
bullshit.
quickly, That's
Yeah.
where I'm going to jump
They're
in here
just
right
being
now
fair to
because
the Picard people.
and that's the whole thing though. I think it still falls in a case, and people sometimes dismiss that is that the Picard we're watching in Picard is literally the Abrams Picard.
Right.
And
it's a bad
I'm stealing that tomorrow. Picard. Thank you.
No, you're not, because it's TM. But because that's my Picard marathon I'm doing later. But
I'm still stealing it, bro. I'll give you credit though. I'll give you.
You
credit.
won't even remember it.
I'm writing it down.
Write it
You
down.
don't even
There
know
you
where
go.
your pens are.
Write it down, dude. But look, I'm with you, Dork. There's not. I mean, I'm not saying Moon Knight's as horrible as Picard because that's be impossible. I just say make a show that actually has something to do with your title character. Might be a good idea. Now, if it had been, let's say it's 12 episodes instead of 6, I might be a little bit more lenient. But we know it's 6, right?
F that,
It's
dude.
6.
Okay, first of all,
F
they
it all you
introduce his
want, but
dad.
it's the truth is the truth.
No, they introduce his dad. Like, have you been watching Picard, Clobbered?
Picard was horrible. Yeah, I hate
Yeah. Okay. So they introduce his dad, and he makes a joke about not being bald. Yet when we saw Picard's dad in
but I just said I agree that-
TNG,
I just
his
said
dad's
that
bald.
Moon Knight's way. I mean, this is way worse
And
than
then
Moon Knight.
when so Picard's mom apparently killed herself. Yet in season 1, where no one has gone before, we meet Picard's mom.
Did you think I was defending Picard?
Huh?
Did you think I was defending Picard? No, it's 10 times worse than Moon Knight. I was talking about Moon Knight Picard there. Not Picard.
Well, you brought up Picard. I thought you. Okay, yeah.
No,
I
I'm
had
saying
misunderstood.
no. What I was saying is yes.
No,
as much
Picard
as
is
I
an
don't like Moon Knight-
abomination that should have
Right, it
never
is-
been
yeah.
created.
That's what I was saying. I was giving you the point that as much as I don't like Moon Knight, it's nowhere near in the same horribleness as Picard. It's just very
It's
wrong.
not destroying the character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's just
but
boring.
like it sucks because it is all of us on the Salty Nerds that sadly feel the same way. It's like
Yeah,
they
it's
are
horrible.
totally shitting on the legacy of Picard, and Picard was such a
That's
great
right.
character. And I wish so much they would have never made this series. You know
Yes,
what
sir.
I mean?
I'm so
You know?
sorry.
I
number
have to
one.
agree with Clovey and with Mark in that criticizing Moon Knight, for example, doesn't mean that you don't like certain things, you know. But I believe.
Oh, I
that
wasn't saying
we are
that.
in the-
I just misunderstood him. Was all.
yeah,
Sorry.
well, just listen to this, mate, because this might be, you know, worth paying attention to. I think that perhaps we need to be a little bit more critical as consumers, you know, because as fans of comic books, we were sort of used to always clapping when, yeah, you know, an Iron Man film, yeah, a Captain America film, and we supported the whole thing. We cannot do that any longer, you know. I believe that because there are many products right now, many projects out there that have good tidbits there, but as an overall project, you know, they might not turn out to be as good, you know. So we have to be a little bit more critical, especially because we deserve, in my opinion, of course, quality product, you know, quality projects. And if you ask me, all Phase 4 has been shite. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
No quality product.
Well, what about No Way Home? What about No Way
No
Home?
Come on, mate. It's the same old thing. This Spider-Man needs crutches all the time. It needs crutches all the time. If it's not Iron Man, it's other Spider-Man from other dimensions, but it needs crutches all the fucking time, you know. So then Phase 4 is just not planned.
In my, I'll agree with you, except for No Way Home. Like I've hated everything in Phase 4 except for No Way Home.
So then why should we continue supporting that thing if it's not offering anything good?
Here's the thing.
You know what I mean? That's the thing that I'm saying.
I wrote a note here.
I'm saying that we have to be more critical, mate, because
you're probably right.
Yeah,
you're probably right. I wrote a note here, so because I didn't want to interrupt you. So, here's the thing: being a lifelong comic book fan at my age, I waited my whole life. Like I used to, like you can ask, like anybody that knows me, man, I used to I drew all the time. I read comic book. I got stuffed in a locker in middle school. because I
Really?
like comic books. Yeah, dude. Like, you know, and because I was drawing, I'd get in trouble all the time for like drawing in math class, and you know, my mom would always buy me these cool like sketchbooks, and I was just constantly drawing and stuff, and I was huge into Spider-Man and Batman were always my favorites. And then when Todd McFarlane jumped ship, I got into Spawn. And then when Eric Larson jumped ship, I got into Savage Dragon, but not for long. You know, I kind of jumped out of that. And then Spawn kind of lost me, and I just kind of went back to Spider-Man. And I fell out of love with Batman too. But Spider-Man's always been a constant, you know, in my life. And I wanted so badly. I talked about it since I was probably 12 or 13. I wanted so badly to see Spider-Man on the big screen, right? And that's why I'll never forget it. When Spider-Man, with the first one came out, it was the same weekend that what, guys? Come on, guys. What other big blockbuster movie came out that weekend? Nobody else remember?
First Spidey movie?
Yeah,
The first
Tobey
one?
Maguire. It went head to head with Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the
it did?
Clones. And guess
Wow.
what? It
Spidey won, probably,
fucking crushed it. It crushed it. You know why? Because Phantom Menace sucked, and old farts like me and people even older than me had been waiting their whole lives to see Spider-Man done right on screen. And I took my firstborn son to see it, and we watched it probably like 10, 12 times. I shit you not, in the theater. It was great. And just as somebody who's got like that, like I just want to still have that, you know, man. So I get what you're saying, but I feel like
nostalgia.
yeah,
I hear you, man.
yeah, you know. So
I understand where you're coming from. You know, you're clinging to the nostalgia, but we have to accept the fact that there's someone that has been waiting for a Moon Knight thing. You know, but this is not it, mate. You know, this is not it. And maybe somebody was waiting for a decent Wanda TV show, but WandaVision was not it, you know. So then we have to. That's why we have to say this sort of thing. Hey, you know what? You're not doing a good job. This is not what I was expecting, you know, as a fan or something. And ask for better, you know, better quality projects, because we as fans deserve it. You know, if they want our money, they should do that. You know, we are not, you know, beggars asking for stuff. You know.
No, I get that, but you know what? I still have that. That's so funny. You mentioned you put it that way. I think I still have that beggar's mentality because, dude, you got to, like, most of my life, I never saw Spider-Man on screen. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even see Spider.
We got the TV show in the 70s. Remember that?
Yeah,
was awesome.
well, yeah, but that was
I'm
nothing.
joking.
We didn't get a
Yeah.
decent Batman on live screen until I was 11. You know what I mean? Like, and then we didn't get a Spider-Man until shit, I had a kid, so I was in my 20s. You know what I mean? Like, so over half my life, I was craving, you know, a
you
good
had
comic book.
you had good cartoons, but not live action.
Well, live, yeah, you know,
no live action. Yeah.
I do hate to say this though, but we do have to start wrapping up. We are reaching the 1 hour and 1.5 hour mark. Some people have to go like deleted scenes, and eventually Viking out of time because he's going to subtitle the video manually for us. Before we all go out, I actually want to give a special thanks to everyone on the panel who helped out today, hosting and filling Gary's shoes and chair is not easy because it needs about 3 of me. Other than that, I want to thank Klobby, Arwen Avalon, Viking Out of Time, Mark D with a C, Deleted Scenes, and of course, Dark Knight himself in the middle, and Zax, who tried to help with the highlighting messaging, but I have a habit of just taking over. Y'all have been great today. Thank you so much for the help.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you. It was a great time.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it. Great job.
Oh, thank you. I got gold star. And I want to do a quick shout out to the chat. We have Neporial Lifeform, Das Wolfen, War Monkey, Jace Fox. We had Lord Thoth, as well as many others like Script Doctor, PJO.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but don't forget to do what Gary does. You give everybody, what is it? It's like, tell everybody where they can find you and blah, blah, blah. You know, let everybody say goodbye.
Martin's nice to see you as well.
Okay, never mind.
I'm going to do that. I've been here a
yet.
year or more. Southern.
Wait. Can I plug now?
We can plug your foot in his ass. I know I saw a bunch of other names, and I'm trying to go through it before my sanity breaks. No. I think I got Parrot Head was also here as well. We had 6 who popped in, socks, bulletins, and many, many more. Mr. Tickle Trickle Trunk. Please don't hurt me for saying that. It was kind of
The
funny.
nerd for real.
Yeah, I said that first. Yeah, I said that first. Yeah, Pops. Thank. Oh my God. Salty Texas C. This has been hilarious. And with that, we're going to start going around the clock, starting with deleted scenes, because I think you have to go, right? Okay.
He already left. He's gone.
I was muted.
All right, deleted. Where
back.
can we find you?
Where can you find me? Well, I am going to be on Friday night, Last Call, on Troy Caselli's channel, and we are going to be discussing the Amazon Prime series Outer Range.
Ooh,
and I am
that's a
going
good
to
show.
be on. Yes, it is, and I'm going to be hopefully, if all goes well, hosting Saturday Serial tomorrow morning, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time on the Bud Boy Productions channel with Matt Allen. And I'm going to be hopefully here for the Saturday show, if there's going to be one. And then I'm going to be on karaoke Saturday night with the gang over at the Rambling Canuck.
Dude, can you send me an invite to the karaoke thing? That would be fun. That sounds fun. I want to be a cool kid.
I'm a little Indian on that channel, so you'll have to
Or
ask
contact Mary. Contact
You have
Mary.
to ask
Rambling.
Mary.
They can
Yeah.
get you set up.
I don't know Mary, but that's okay.
All right, I'll talk to you.
And next up, of course, we will bring in Clobbering Time, who is ripped to shreds right now. How you doing?
Looking good, Clobby.
I am Doc Savage. Have no fear. The Man of Bronze is here. Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate it. Shout out to Gary and Keith. Sorry I missed them. Hope they're having a great day, and I hope all you out there in the chat are having a great day. Saturday night, don't miss Saturday night Star Trek, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. My wonderful first officer and I, and we'll have it's the end of season 6 of TNG. So our big quest to review all of Real Trek, and so we're gonna have a big bit of fun on Saturday night, and so that, and of course Monday night Mark C Comics Talk. Purple and I are supposed to come on with me. We're going to, well, now that this news is dropped, we're going to do a tribute to Neal Adams, a proper long tribute to him on stream.
Abram, put your channel link in the chat, please. I want to follow you. I want to.
Thank you, and I will.
No, I want to do that Saturday. You don't have to follow me. I don't do shit. I just guest on people's shows, but I want to watch that Saturday show because.
Oh yeah, we're reviewing all of Real Trek for those who don't know, 66 through 05 only, and we're now up. We're number 68, show 68, and we're in almost the end of season 6 there of TNG.
Yeah. So, dude, I have them on Blu-ray. Do you have the Blu-ray ones?
Of what, TNG?
Yeah, I have the Blu.
Do not.
Oh my God, they're so cool, man.
I've seen
special
features.
They
look good.
Yeah, well, it's not even just that they look good. The special features are funny because they'll show you like the reason they're because a lot the number one question. Yeah, the number one question was like, why don't you do the letterbox format? And they're like, well, even though we shot it, you can see like cameramen and wires and stuff like. So they'll show like clips of it, and it's like, oh, that's funny.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
And if mods want to throw them in the chat, just please do so. Thank you. And next up, Mark D with a C. God help me.
I got to help you. Yep. So, thank you for having me on the panel. It's been a lot of fun. You can come to my channel, see reviews of these, awesome Gorn figures, pops, things like that. Now, more old toys, but I'll be on Sunday night. My main show is Sunday Night Geekery. It's on 10 p.m. Eastern. I should be on with Clobbering Times and Raquel and the gang after on Saturday Night Star Trek. After they review the first 2 episodes, we go. He invites us on to review the season. So looking forward to that. And I'm on with Clobbering Times a lot during the week and the Thursday night show. But I got a lot of old toys, as you can see from my background. A lot of old toys and junk, stuff that I love. But so I'll pop my channel in there and Discord. And thanks for the follow.
Thank you. And next up, we have, hopefully he's able to talk, the Viking Out of Time and English subtitles. How are you?
Please put them on. Well, you can find me on channel Viking All of Time there on YouTube. I also synced it to Odyssey recently, so I hope that I can promote that a little bit more. Right now, I've got a a review of The Northman, because I think that it's a great movie that everyone should be watching, and I'm also going to have an in-depth analysis of it, of the original legend of the Viking story Amulet, and I'm going to also be having an analysis of the symbolisms and things that you can see in the movie. I've seen it already twice, planning on seeing it another time also for that. And just hop in, and I hope that you enjoy the the videos, reviews, and bring your dictionaries so that you don't have to use translations like right now.
All right. And next up, we were going to bring the lady. I should have done it first, but you know me, I'm a misogynist. We have Arwen Avalon.
Okay. You can find me at Arwen Avalon either on my YouTube or on my Twitter. Tonight, I don't know where the hell I'm going to be. I'll be somewhere. I don't know. I'll be around. But tomorrow, I'm going to be on the BackTube in the afternoon, and T-Shirt Historians, The Week in Geek after that. And then I think it's Bikini Draws. I think it's his birthday stream. It's either tomorrow night or the next Saturday. I got to look at my date book. If it's next Saturday, I will definitely be on Rambling Canucks Karaoke. So that's good for me.
And thank you very much for being here. And last but not least, the black guy.
I really want to be on that karaoke thing, Arwen. You should hit me up.
I'll get you hooked up.
Hold on here. Dude. Promote your stuff. Don't start guilting the panel.
No, I'm like, I don't even want to promote I will forego promoting my stuff to be like, can I please
just bring me in here, please?
You want to be on karaoke?
I just want to sing karaoke.
Can we hear you sing now? See if you deserve to be on the panel.
No, I'm trying to round up people. What the
Can you feel the love?
There we go.
That because I was getting hated on. Hey
Thumbs
guys,
up.
I'm the Dork Knight LV. Boom, right there on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and everything else. Probably even LinkedIn. I don't know. Haven't used LinkedIn in like 10 years. And I'm on the Salty Nerd podcast every Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, where we bitch and moan about Picard, which is depressing, just so depressing. So if you guys want to see me,
want to be depressed?
If you guys want to see my soul being crushed, tune in tomorrow on the Salty Nerd podcast because this last episode, oh my god, was just anyway. Yeah. All right. Dork Knight LV. Oh, and I have a charity. It's called the Las Vegas Cosplayers Alliance. Check it out. It's cool. I'm good. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Now, you don't forget to catch him on Saturdays if you want to wake up and just start your day shitty. And of course, without further ado, I'm the guy who wishes he was still asleep. I have a channel on YouTube and Twitch. And Chuck Dixon will be joining me next Wednesday about 3 p.m. Eastern. I think so. I'll have to double check. I want to thank Gary for letting me host my first and last show while he's out of town ever on Pop Culture Minefield. And if anyone needs a new Fat Steven on Fridays, I'm probably going to get fired. Other than that, shout out to the chat and everyone here, the mods, the panel, what's left of my sanity. You all need to have a great day. Have a great time. Please, God, help me. Trying to find the outro because he didn't tell me which one, and I think this is it. Y'all take care.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.